Was in Yakima that summer. I was, I think, 6, I guess, yeah. And but there was still ash all over the place. It was surreal. I remember all these years later.
Yeah, I mean, so wild, right? You have that big explosion. Of course, you have all the impacts afterwards, and still to see how it's changed the landscape from at that point to now, to where we are seeing some land that's just completely been eradicated because of that. But right now, as we go on into our day, we are seeing that we are picking up a little more rain, but I don't think we're going to see much more, as a lot of it has started to head its way eastward. Now, check out what we've seen here so far in Seattle. About 1/4 inch of rain, and that now puts us up above 3 inches of rain for the month of May. Now, that's happened 13 times for the month of May, so it's not unheard of. It's not something that happens, though, all that often in the 80 or near 80 years of records that we have out at SeaTac Airport. And what's not happened but only once before, 4 inches of rain, and we're still a ways away from that, but we do have a few more systems on the way here before we end off the month. Now, looking at our schoolnet sites, some of the stronger wind gusts we've had throughout the morning. The Franklin Academy, Bellingham, 43 miles per hour, down in Tacoma at around 38. Some of our current numbers, 36 currently in Shelton, right now at 38 in Hoquiam, coming up near a 36-mile-per-hour gust around Friday Harbor, and then 31 in Renton. So they're still pretty strong, but early into the morning, we were seeing a lot more of these numbers in the 40s and the 50s. So they are beginning to come down quite a bit. Wind advisory still out, however. That's going to be until 8 p.m. this evening. We still have those gusts that could be anywhere up to maybe 55 miles per hour. I would say that's closer here to more of some of the islands that you might see some of that, and then parts of northern interior. As we go on into the evening, we are also going to expect a lot more of this snow to start to develop, and that will be with our convergence zone that will set up generally here closer to Stevens Pass and northward, which will help to produce a little more of that. And then that will sink southward as we go deep into the night. That 4-inch range probably closer to Snoqualmie Pass, around 6 to 12 perhaps as you get closer to Stevens Pass, where you can tell that things are pretty active and dreary looking right now, but we're not really seeing a lot of that snow falling for the time being, but it will, especially as we go on here into the night. Right now, it looks like a completely different story in Seattle. We're at 54. That wind still elevated at 20 miles per hour coming out of the south. So if you're driving in from the south, nice tailwind for you to help with the gas mileage. 52 in Tacoma right now at 55, and Oak Harbor lower 60. So big difference in temperatures from Port Angeles, which is at 60 degrees, to what we're noticing out in Forks, which is right now at 48. We do have rain that's a bit more steady as you get closer here to more of the western slopes of the Olympics, coming down a little heavy as you go just east now of Highway 101 and just moving east now of Forks and Quileute. You go up across areas of Whidbey Island, getting a little farther north around Camino Island. Maybe some lighter showers for you there too, with a very thin band of rain that's moving over Marysville. And then across Puget Sound, especially right along the immediate parts of Puget Sound, not a ton of rain. We have a few breaks in the clouds, and we'll see some rain here moving through parts of Tacoma, getting closer to Federal Way, a little farther south too around parts of Olympia and Tumwater. Get ready for some of that to move on by. This system heading eastward will have another weak feature that's going to sink southward, and that weak piece of energy is going to help to increase some of the shower activity again as we go into tomorrow morning. But first, we'll have to deal with the convergence zone. Here we are tonight at about 7. You start to notice that coming together, especially here across areas of Stevens Pass. That's staying there up until about 10 to 11 p.m. tonight, and then it dives southward overnight and heading into early Thursday morning, where you could see some of that snow if you're going to be driving across the state, either for Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, or even White Pass. That starts to die off, and then we'll see a few light showers on into tomorrow afternoon for Thursday. Now, the snow amounts, again, with that staying closer to Stevens Pass and over Stevens Pass and the higher elevation at Stevens Pass too. 6 to 12, maybe a little more. I think 14 going to be a little tough to do as far as the snow amounts, but that 1 to 2, maybe 4 inches of snow closer to Snoqualmie Pass, it looks like it's going to be more the same there. 50s today and tomorrow, then back into the 60s, and not just barely there, mid to upper 60s over the weekend with the sunshine. A few showers next Monday and Tuesday.